He is the wide receiver 20, and he's only 47% owned. He's gone up slowly in the percentage owned, but I was all in on him in the very beginning of the season. I'm still in on him. I just can't talk about him every single week because that's just going to get boring. But of course, as I mentioned, Mooney is the top choice. But if you can't get Mooney, Lazard is the next best. I mean, he's a solid wide receiver 2 flex option start every single week. He's gotten 18 targets the last 2 weeks, 10 plus points the last 3 weeks, with 2 of them getting 13 plus points. So I think he's a really good wide receiver. And Lazard and Rodgers, I mean, there's a connection there. We've already known that. And we still continue to see it even on a new team. So as much as Wilson can get 23 targets and be like the second least wide receiver to have 20 plus targets, the yardage is also wild stat. But Lazard is one of Rodgers' guys, and he'll continue to be Rodgers' guy.
Yeah, I think he is going to be the guy. I don't know if you checked out the last few games or went back. Like Wilson's separation is terrible. Like it's hard work getting away from these corners and defensive backs. He's not very natural at doing it. And this is his issue, how he's targeted so much, but doesn't come up with the ball. He just doesn't create enough separation. So Lazard has been, Rodgers' guy then, especially in the end zone. I think he's a guy that has to be owned. He's definitely a great flex play because it looks like even if he's not seeing a bunch of targets, he's going to fall into the end zone and get a touchdown and get points that way. So I like to pick.
Yeah, Lazard, you can't knock it. I mean, you guys have already mentioned the fact that he has that history with Aaron Rodgers, is the reliable guy for him. He had a couple drops last game too, so also could have had more points. But yeah, I think you're going to see him have like 7 targets a game, which is crazy. Because I think that coming into this year, everybody believed that Garrett Wilson was going to be the guy, by far. Wide receiver 2 was going to be up and crushing. But, yeah, I think Lazard's taking over that role. Right now it looks like the wide receiver 1 in New York, so who really knows? But, yeah, he's caught a bunch of touchdowns. I wouldn't be surprised if he continues to catch more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we know –
Go ahead.